Crude prices surge 13% as U.S. sanctions hit Russia's Rosneft and Lukoil. On Thursday, global oil markets reacted sharply to a new round of U.S. sanctions targeting Russia's two biggest oil exporters, Rosneft and Lukoil. The move, designed to increase pressure on Moscow over its continued war in Ukraine, sent both Brent and West Texas Intermediate WTI futures soaring by more than 5%, reaching their highest levels in 2 weeks. Brent settled at $65.96 a barrel, while WTI closed at $61.83, marking the steepest daily gains since mid-June and the most robust closes since early October. Analysts warned that the sanctions could create a supply gap large enough to push the market into a deficit by next year, especially as Russia remains the world's second-largest crude producer. The ripple effects were felt across the broader energy sector. U.S. diesel futures jumped nearly 7%, pushing the diesel crack spread to its highest point since February 2024. The restrictions also force major oil importing nations such as China and India to scramble for alternative sources to avoid being cut off from the Western banking system. Chinese state-owned refiners have already halted seaborne Russian oil purchases, a development that further underpins the price rally. Meanwhile, OPEC signaled its willingness to step in and offset potential shortages by easing output cuts. Russian President Vladimir Putin dismissed the sanctions as a temporary inconvenience, accusing the West of trying to choke Russia's energy exports. The United States, however, indicated it stands ready for additional measures while urging Moscow to agree to an immediate ceasefire in Ukraine. The ultimate impact of the sanctions will hinge on how quickly India, the largest buyer of discounted Russian crude, reduces its imports and whether Russia can find new buyers to replace lost volumes. Industry insiders predict a sharp curtailment of Russian oil purchases by Indian refiners, with Reliance Industries possibly halting imports altogether, further tightening global supply dynamics.